Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be continuing our chapter, that is our skeletal system. I hope you have watched the part 1 of this chapter. So let's continue. The topics which we are going to study in this video are about the joints and ligaments. You all know that we are studying about our skeletal system. So how our bones are connected and what are the types of joints present in our body. Movable joints, there are 4 types of movable joints: hinge joint, ball and socket, pivot and gliding joint. We will be studying about the immovable joints also. So let's start the video. Okay, so before starting with the types of joints, first of all we need to understand what is a joint. So in our common language, we understand this term joint as the portion or the part where the two things are connected towards each other, right? So in our human body, there are also joints present. Basically, joints is a place where the two bones, you all know that we have studied bones in our first part of the video. So the two bones are joined together with the help of a strong tissue called as ligament. So the place where the two bones are interlinked, this is called as a joint. And how these joints are connected together? With the help of strong tissues called as ligaments. So I hope both the terms joints and ligaments are clear now. Now ligaments are very strong and they allow for controlled movement. I am again specifying on this word. Controlled movement means to a certain limit you can rotate, or to a certain limit you can fold or move your joints. Ligaments help to allow for a controlled movement of joints so that the bones does not displace from its position. Okay. Now there are two types of joints: movable joints and immovable joints in our body. So first we will be discussing about immovable joints. Immovable, the name is itself suggests that it cannot move, right? Immovable means the joints which cannot move. They are found in the skull and the pelvis region. First of all, where are immovable joints found? They are found in the skull and in the pelvis region. And this type of joint does not allow any movement of bones. Yes, they does not allow any movement of bones. Movement of bones is not possible in these type of joints. Therefore, they are called as the immovable joints. And you should know that where these joints are present. They are found in the skull. That is on the skull we have learned in our part 1 also, and in the pelvis region. Next, movable joints. Now there are many types of movable joints in our body, and that is why we are able to rotate and move our body very flexibly. First of all, before moving to types of joints, we need to understand what are movable joints. What is the meaning of this term? These joints allow movement of bones because of a fluid present that act as a lubricant. Basically, what does it mean? The joint is same, right? The joint meaning is when two bones are connected towards each other. Now the question is then how they are moving, how these joints are moving, because of a certain lubricant or a fluid. A fluid is present between these two bones or where the joint is there, and that is why it can rotate, and that is why it can be able to rotate on its area because of the lubricant. Fine. Movable joints are of 4 types: hinge joint, ball and socket joint, pivot joint and gliding joint. Let's study each of them separately and understand where are these types of joints present in our body. First is hinge joint. H-I-N-G-E hinge joint. This joint is like the hinge in a door. Yes, it is like a door. You must have seen a hinge on a door. It allows movement of bones in one direction only. Only in single direction your hand or your elbow can move. And where it is present? In our knees, in our elbows and in fingers. Yes, you can see that your fingers, your elbows and your knee move. The movement of bones is in one direction only. That means which type of joint is present? Hinge joint. So whenever the name hinge joint comes, or you see it in anywhere, what should be the thing that comes in your mind? That it allows movement of bones in one direction only. Dear students, learn these type of joints by applying it and looking at your body. That yes, you can see that it is when you see your elbows, knee or fingers, you should be able to recognize that it is a hinge joint. Okay, let's move to the next joint, ball and socket joint. The name itself suggests that there is one socket, that is a cavity where the ball needs to get fit, right? Now what is the ball and what is the socket? Let's understand that. In this joint, a ball shaped bone is fitted into another socket shaped bone. Yes, there is one socket shaped bone and one ball shaped bone. Ball means a round, and socket you all must have seen, it is just like a basically cavity where the ball will go and fix inside it. So it is called as ball and socket joint. The round bone can rotate in the socket usually in all direction. The round ball, that is a ball shaped bone, can rotate in all the direction in the socket. And where it is present, you must be curious to know that where is the ball and socket joint present. This joint is found in the shoulders and hips. Yes, you can move your shoulders, right? You can move your shoulder in all direction. Just move it and just recognize it that it is a ball and socket joint. It is found in our shoulders and in the hips. I hope the ball and socket is clear to you. Pivot joint. Now, where it is present, you can see in the picture that this joint is found between the skull and the first two vertebrae of the backbone, and it's called as atlas. What it is called as? Atlas. This joint allows movement of head in the sideways, upward and downward direction. So whenever you move your hand, you move your head sideways, upward or downwards, the first thing that comes in your mind should be that it is because of the pivot joint. Fine. This joint is found between our skull and the first two vertebrae of our backbone, which is also called as the atlas. Fine. So the question can come in such a way also that with which type of joint you can move your head upwards and downwards. The answer is pivot joint. Next joint is gliding joint. Gliding, that means it is twisting and turning. It is right. So this joint is present between the wrist, ankle and any two vertebrae of the spinal cord. It helps us in bending our back and also twisting and turning the wrist. Yes, you can rotate your wrist, right? Just try to rotate your wrist. Why are you able to rotate this wrist? Because of the gliding joint. So these were the 4 types of movable joints, and there are 2 types of joints present in our body. First of all, you need to understand. First is movable and immovable. Immovable joint is present only where it is present only in the skull and the pelvis region, because it cannot move. And the movable joints are hinge joint, ball and socket joint, pivot joint and gliding joint. Thank you and have a nice day.